So it's Friday, and we're up at the tiny house today, here by myself. We haven't sent a video in for the last couple of weeks, but it's been a little busy. We've been up in northern Minnesota at the tiny house deer hunting, and there's been 5 of us staying in the tiny house every weekend. So with all that said, it's kind of became clear that we need to make a few adjustments. And today we're going to just make a couple of those little changes. We're getting ready to start the tongue and groove on the walls and the ceiling, and trying to get that up, which will probably be in a couple of weeks. But before we do that, there's a couple of things that we need to do. A couple of those things I'm going to do today. That's what this video will be about. But one of the things that we learned about the tiny house is that it heats extraordinarily efficiently. The floor is plenty warm. The walls are great. We've got more than enough insulation in it. With the windows, you can't even hear the wind howling outside, and we've got about 30-mile-an-hour blizzard conditions outside, and there's no breeze, there's no drafts. It's just a perfectly sound contained area to sit in, relax in. Walk around in your bare feet. The floor doesn't get cold. The lofts, they are probably 6 to 10 degrees higher temperature up there, so they're probably around the mid 70s. At the lower is probably the upper 60s. A thermometer in between says 71, and we can regulate the temperature in the lofts with just cracking a window, and that's been really nice. You get a little fresh air. It's comfortable. I can't say enough about it. The space is remarkably efficient. So today we're going to make a few of those changes to the tiny that we've kind of learned about from having all the guys in. And to be totally honest with you, you're looking at a very small space, but 6 people can stay in this space extremely comfortably. With all the gear that everybody brought in and all the stuff we had around, it was never out of control. It was always comfortable. So one of the things that we learned about the tiny is that our water heater will not bring water to a hot temperature unless the water's at about 50 degrees. So as it's gotten colder up here, the water has to warm up before we can get good hot showers. So I'm going to create a fill tube from the inside so we can pour into our water, which is something we were planning on doing anyways, filling that tank from the inside versus the outside. So this will allow us to pour hot water down into our tank, get our tank temperature up to 60 degrees, and then we'll be able to have whatever temperature shower you want or whatever temperature you want to do the dishes. So that's going to be one of the projects today. Another one of the projects today is we're going to change the faucet out on the sink, because I don't want that stationary faucet anymore. I want something that raises high, because of the small sink we don't have enough room to really do the dishes the right way. So that'll be a nice little change today. And just going to putz around on the inside and stay out of the blizzard, because it is rough outside. Basically, it is the best Minnesota has to offer as far as a real winter goes. So anybody that's watching this from a warm climate, you can feel pretty good about where you're at today. But I will be honest, I wouldn't trade this for anything. It's pretty fun to be up, getting snowed in, and blizzard conditions outside. And I think I'm going to go take a walk in the woods a little bit later this afternoon and just go check things out and check it out. So enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Alright, so I've made the decision that this little fixed faucet, it doesn't move. It's got one on off. There's no mixer, which I like. In its original inception, I really like the idea of it. But the issue I'm having is that if I'm going to put, like, say my coffee pot under there, it may fit with no dishes, but you can't really fit it to maneuver. So we went up and picked up this faucet, which gives us a high rise over the sink, so it should be up here, and it can move out of the way. I think that's going to solve a lot of the dishes problem, making it a little quicker and easier to do the dishes. So let's just kind of see how it goes. Okay, so we shut the water off and we drained the highest to the lowest. So now we just got to uncouple this valve by taking the screw loose and then backing it off so we can make it a little easier. So the easiest way to do it is to turn this fixer nut out, because that holds it in place. And then we'll get a wrench on this and loosen up the PEX fitting. Alright, so now we just got to disassemble the PEX fitting from the faucet, and we'll be ready to bring out the new faucet. So as we're looking on the faucet, we have a red, which is hot, and a blue, which is cold. The red is on the left, and so we're going to hook our PEX line right straight to our left, and then we're going to put a cap over the top of the cold. So let's get started. Sink, the ability to turn the faucet. That's a winner.